I've been going around the hall and I've spoken to people from A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. But now we've got somebody who starred in possibly the last ever Star Wars standalone film, or anthology film, I think they called it, Star Wars Story. Matt Tyler, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. I'm good. I'm really enjoying the day, so it's good to be down in Southend.
Are you a local boy?
No, not at all. No, I've come quite. I mean,
the accent would say otherwise.
Yeah. I'm from Birmingham originally, but I live in Liverpool, so it's a bit of a.
Oh wow, that is a trip to come down.
Today,
yeah, and how was that getting down in the morning?
It wasn't too bad getting down, to be fair. My partner's parents live in Cannock, so I stayed there.
Okay, that's halfway house.
Journey, yeah.
So
not too bad.
So Matt was a Wookiee slave in Solo, a Star Wars Story, who of course got to hang around with Ross Sandbridge, the creator of this event. I mean, obviously, just looking at you, you're a rather tall chap. How did you go about getting this gig? Did they audition people of a certain size or height?
Yeah. So basically, it all came about. I was part of like an agency. That I hadn't really heard anything off for a while. So and then out of the blue I got a text asking me very, very specifically, are you 6'8" or over? And I was like, I thought that's far too specific to be real. So I thought it was a bit of I thought my mates were trying to wind me up. And then they called me and they said, no, like, we want you to come down to London to audition. So I was like, yeah, fair enough. So I went down to Pinewood, and then it's only when I was sat in the LFL Lucasfilm Limited offices that it clicked where I was, and I was like texting my mum like, you'll never guess this.
I think I might be in a Star Wars.
Yeah. So auditioned, did the recall, and then got the part. So yeah,
nice. And if you don't mind me asking, obviously because we're an audio medium, are you over 6'8"?
I am 6'8" on the dot. Yeah,
that was like. I mean, if you were 6'7", I'm sure you could have said, yeah, I'm 6'8".
I'm flagging it in, you know. Yeah. I just wore my platform heels for the day.
Stretch yourself overnight. So you got to work in the scenes, as I can see on Mimban. It looks muddy, it looks dirty. Or what sequences did you have to do then for the film?
So there was a lot of stunt scenes when we were on the outside of the mines.
Yep, Kessel,
Yeah, Kessel Mines, yeah. So we essentially did a lot of fighting to start with, like the
very physical work.
Yeah. It was our scene was that the Millennium Falcon comes down, they're going in to collect something, and then Chewie finds out there's other Wookiees that have basically been enslaved, and then he decides that he needs to release them. Because it was supposed to just be a mission to collect, and then eventually they decide to attack the guards and release us, and that's where it all sort of goes
kicks off,
and then loads of fighting, loads of shooting, and big action scene basically.
And how was that filming for yourself? Because like you said, with being 6'8", does that come with any extra limitations when it comes to doing the stunt work or the action scenes?
No,
is it harder?
It was the physicality of it was hard anyway. And also being in the suit, we were in quite a tight suit. We had the head on, hands on, the feet on, and once you're in it, you're pretty much there. You can't like just go, can I just pop out for a minute? You're in there, sort of thing. And when we were filming, it was about 25 degrees. It was like the heat.
And where were you filming
Pinewood
this?
Studios.
It was in Pinewood,
Yeah, so they'd created the Kessel Mines in the car park, which was quite surreal. And then they had like sun blockers, but like you've got to imagine they only go so far. So we were running around doing all these stunts, literally just pouring
hot
sweat.
And sweaty.
Yeah, very, very hot, very, very sweaty.
And did you get to obviously work with Ross Sandbridge, but did you at all get to communicate with Jonas Tuatama, who played Chewie himself?
Yeah. So we spent a bit of time with him. There was a lot of his scenes. He was obviously trying to save us in those scenes, and he needed they needed like eyeline. So Ron Howard, the director, would use me specifically as eyeline for him. So there was a point where I'm sat just we're next to Ron Howard, who's directing Jonas. I'm sat there like, this is so surreal, and using. So we did get to speak to him quite a bit. Probably not like we didn't spend like loads of time with them, but we did get to sort of communicate with them a little bit.
And what about Alden as well? Was Han Solo got a bit of unfairly got a bit of a bad rap? But how was he on set? Because he comes across as a professional guy, but a really nice sort of down to earth chap.
He was lovely. He was just getting on with, like, when we were there, he was very much just getting on with the job at hand. To be
being
fair,
Han,
there was no one really that was like divish or anything like that. Everyone seemed to have the same goal in mind of making the film, making it the best that it could be, and then was just listening to what they were needed to do and just sort of got on with it. So he seemed really nice.
Nice. Well, I've got to ask, the original was Lord and Miller directing. Well, you mentioned already Ron Howard came on to direct. Did you see any kind of shift in the production style or anything?
Well, our bits, to be honest, we never actually ended up working with Lord and Miller. I met them twice.
Yep.
Once to do, twice basically to do show and tells of the costume.
Nice.
Once was a bit earlier in the year. I think it was around February, March time, and we came in and we met them, and we were all. It was like on a sound stage, so we came in to do that. And then the second time we met them was on the week that we were going to start filming, and that was the week they got let go, essentially.
Yep.
So on the Monday we came in to do a show and tell. We were in this like warehouse in Pinewood, showing all the bits of our costume, sweltering, and then next day we get told, you've got a week off. They've let the directors go, and they're bringing someone else in. So.
And what did you do in your week off?
I luckily got to go to Glastonbury. I was only supposed to go for the Saturday, part of the Friday, the full Saturday and part of the Sunday, and then I get the call on the Tuesday being told, you've got the week off. So I was
nice.
Straight to Tesco to get some beers.
Who headlined that weekend?
It was Foo Fighters,
nice.
Ed Sheeran and Radiohead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So you've got some of the biggest acts in the world and of this decade. So
yeah.
that's not a bad substitute for. And then you got to go work on Star Wars again after that.
Yeah.
So it's not bad, is
came
it?
back, and then about a week later, it was throw your Wookiee suit on, back into the mix.
Getting thrown around and sweaty again.
Yeah.
Best memory on set then?
There were lots filming wise. I would say there were bits when we were inside film. I think probably. It seems weird to say, but working with, there were so many funny things that Ross didn't mean to do when we were working together. Filming wise, there was a point we were all in these shackles, so basically we had shackles around our necks and our hands, and our filming bit was to get released, pull the shackles off and run through the tunnels.
Yep.
And we practiced it quite a few times, and sometimes they get a bit stuck and a bit stiff. And I remember getting mine off, and all I could hear in the background was Ross just going, "Oh no!"
in his voice. Yeah. Oh no!
And then there was another one where he ran and he headbutted the mine and fell over, and I was just in absolute hysterics. The problem is we're supposed to be filming like a professional production, and you've got like a Wookiee in the background giggling, another one on the floor. So yeah, I think just where like we spent all our time together. It was just like none of it felt like work. We were just messing about.
That's amazing.
Yeah, having fun.
The worst part is, by the sounds of it, there doesn't seem to be any video footage of Ross banging his loaf in the mine.
Probably somewhere. Someone's sitting on that, like You've Been Framed style.
If anyone knows Ron Howard or anyone else on set,
those outtakes
please get that. Yeah.
There was a lot of falling over and hurting himself throughout the film, which probably doesn't mention too often.
No, he hasn't mentioned that. And then, obviously, working on Solo, did you get a chance to go and watch it afterwards? And what did you think of this film?
So we went to the premiere. I took my mum to the premiere.
Nice.
And 2018. I thought it was a great film, to be honest. Like I've always enjoyed the films. I'm not like an avid fan, but I've always like sort of appreciated the films. And I think the thing is the production level of the new ones, obviously some people don't like them as much just because they don't feel it sticks to stories or whatever, but the actual production level, like as a film itself, is amazing
huge,
to sort of see it come together. So I thought it was a really good film.
Yep. No, I enjoyed it as well. It was one of the more adventurous of the new films, and that's what it felt like. A smuggler's heist and a bit George Lucas as well. So Matt, honestly, thank you so much for giving your time to speak to us today.
Amazing.